Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, the Bloodline is officially dead.
Is Nikki Bella returning to WWE?
Let's talk about why Alexa Bliss's return didn't happen.
And could WWE end up owning TNA? I'm Adam Wilborn.
No is the answer to that one.
And this is the news.
At least not for a year or so, but we'll get to that. First of all, we're going to talk about the Bloodline. It's over. The saga is done. You kind of knew this from the match between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa on the January 6th episode of Raw, the Netflix premiere. Tribal Combat, Ula Fala.
Yeah.
I'm the Tribal Chief. I have won the Tribal Chief Championship.
Oh, if only.
To become the Bloodline guy. That's the official job title in the contract. But yeah, we kind of knew from that ceremonial thing that was the end of the saga, but it's kind of official now. It's official. It's a double fish. Bobby Fish.
Indeed.
WWE plans on no longer using the term the Bloodline or the new Bloodline or any of that to describe Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu. Mm-hmm. This is according to WrestleVotes. This is likely a result of this sentence is so funny. The change is likely a result of Roman Reigns being the only tribal chief in WWE after winning Tribal Combat on Raw's Netflix debut. Imagine saying that to a normal person.
Yes. That's why he's the only tribal chief. So.
This superstar in the sports entertainment won the Tribal Chief Combat. Ula Fala. Shouts to the Ula Fala. I respect that. But yeah, there you go. So they're moving on. They're doing something different. I don't know if they'll have a new name or whatever, but on last week's episode of SmackDown, it was a really great segment, I thought, where they just had Tonga Loa is injured, obviously, but they had Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu in the ring. Jacob Fatu's just talking mad amounts of he's just going off. Solo Sikoa comes down, says nothing and leaves. Jacob Fatu talks a bunch more and then Braun Strowman comes out and they have like the build to my most anticipated match for the rest of the month.
That's this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on Saturday, baby. I'm looking forward to watching it on Sunday morning. So yeah, it looks like they're moving on. It was a good segment last week. I think they're right to move on.
Yeah.
I've no idea where Solo, and I mean, Jacob at one point is going to go, I hate you, Solo, and beat his ass, and it's going to be the best thing ever. But yeah, we'll see where we go from here. You got any ideas for new names for these guys?
The big bunch of bastards.
The Triple B. Triple B Records. Respect.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense for them not to call themselves the new Bloodline, seeing as they definitively lost the feud with the actual Bloodline. He's the only tribal chief for now, of course. Rock returning on the Raw next week, 20+7 for those who know. Or it could just be Roman Reigns going around as he's got an acknowledgement ceremony, isn't it, on Monday?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm intrigued to see what they do next with those four men. Jacob Fatu's going to be absolutely fine, as you say. Saturday night's main event against Braun Strowman. But is there going to be sort of a power struggle for whatever we're calling that new group? Because at the end of the day, Jacob Fatu's the main guy in that now.
He's the breakout star.
And Solo Sikoa seems to have a sort of wobble in his confidence, what with that, not saying anything on SmackDown. But excited to see what happens next with them, because it's been so obvious from the moment they arrived, and now it's like, okay, we're on the road to WrestleMania, what do you do now?
Yeah, Jacob's the one. He's the one. He can do everything. He can talk really well.
Yeah.
He can wrestle really well, obviously. He's scary. He projects really well on TV. I think you could push him as a monster heel or as a monster face.
Yeah.
I think that it's only a matter of time before he's headlining pay-per-views and winning world titles. He really has... for me personally, like ignited a level of fire that I haven't had for a WWE wrestler in a while.
Danger, isn't it?
Yeah, like he's a scary dude on TV, and like this Braun match, I think, is just going to be 8 minutes of incredible beef.
Yes.
So yeah, and then going forward, what do you do with the other guys? Well, Tama and his brother Tonga Loa, the tag team. I mean, they're tenured as hell. And Solo, look, he's really like. Yeah, when this whole new Bloodline thing started, maybe he looked a little out of his depth, and I know people were memeing like the suit and stuff early on, but like since he kind of started loosening up and being
he grew into it, didn't he?
Yeah, he's been a bit sillier recently. I think he's kind of found his footing, so I think they're all going to be fine, to be perfectly. But I think that Jacob is going to be double extra, triple super duper.
You sense on one of those drafts for WrestleMania, they just have Jacob Fatu versus Roman Reigns. Perhaps.
Yeah, you think so.
But I don't know if that's the first match that they would go to for Roman. But
CM Punk versus Roman Reigns is the current whispers. Ooh. So we'll see. We'll see. Of course, this is all dependent on the big man showing up.
Indeed.
Bow, 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 bow. Here comes the Dwayner. You never know what he's going to do.
Well, I'll tell you who could be the new leader of the new Bloodline. Nikki Bella. Possible.
Hey, Nikki Sawa.
Yes.
So you never know. The real horsewoman.
This was all over social media last night and getting a lot of people excited from WrestleVotes who've been told that significant discussions have taken place about Nikki Bella's in-ring return to WWE. There is a strong expectation from multiple WWE sources that it will happen sooner rather than later. It's the Rumble in a week and a half.
Yeah, exactly.
Any chance?
Exactly. So, like, a lot of times, reports like this will go out like a week in advance to kind of test the temperature on situations like this. So, with that coming out, I would be astonished now if Nikki's not in the Rumble. She's obviously had neck problems that have prevented her from wrestling in the past, but like she's done match, like her Ronda Rousey match. Actually, I thought was really good.
You're still taking bumps, but it's like you could protect someone in a Rumble. Even though they have to go over the top rope. Obviously.
There are ways to go over the top rope without bumping on your back and your neck and stuff. So you could even just go on the apron and slug it out with someone and go off. Hey, Nikki loves them forearms.
Oh, yeah.
She loves that Misawa elbow. I love that meme so much. Look, I like Nikki Bella.
Yeah.
I think that even removing the fact that she's just had like probably the worst time of her life with her real life situations. I always thought that Nikki Bella, from start to finish, just an incredible improvement, right? From starting off with the twin magic stuff and just kind of, filling that diva role. She developed into a good wrestler. So, like, I don't see how anyone could possibly be mad at this.
No.
Also, she's, like, kind of famous. Like,
yeah, exactly. She draw attention to it.
So, like, I don't understand why anyone would have a problem with this. I think she's good, and it helps to have name value people from the past to put today's or the future's people over.
My wife is a perfect example of this. Like, every year, pretty much, she would ask me, Bella in the Rumble or no?
Yeah.
And it's like, for a while now, it's been, well, obviously not. But all of a sudden, that door's been flung wide open. Like you say, draw more attention to the product. They've got 28 spots to fill right now. And I think, along with your Charlotte Flairs, your Becky Lynch's, Jordan Grace, there's going to be some big names in that Rumble. Why not chuck Nikki Bella in there? Even if it's just the Rumble, even if it's nothing to do with anything at WrestleMania or something like that. She just wants to just get back in there, as many people do, just for a spot in the Rumble.
Yeah.
I'm a bit annoyed because we literally recorded our video predicting the 30 women entrance to the Women's Royal Rumble, which is available right now.
It'll be linked at the end of this one.
We recorded it yesterday, so thanks, Nikki.
Yeah, you ruined it, Nikki. She took her Nikki Sawa forearm right into that thing. I legitimately don't see an argument against this. I just don't see it. Have it out in the comment section below. Maybe you're considering something that I'm
taking someone's spot.
Yeah.
That's two people so far.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, if Nikki Bella's in the match taking someone's spot, if Cora Jade, for example, eliminates her, that's pretty good for her. Like, exactly. For Cora Jade. So, this is the value of using a name wrestler.
Not the wildest name we pitched in our 30 Women in the Royal Rumble, though.
Certainly wasn't.
Check out number 17 for that one.
Taylor Swift, but even wilder.
Possibly even more.
Yeah, what a mess. Right, let's talk about Alexa Bliss, her return.
Taylor Swift, of course, if she entered the Rumble, would enter at number 22.
But actually, and she would have bad blood with Alexa Bliss because she stole her spot.
Oh, her and Bad Bunny as a mixed gender tag team.
Hey, listen, book it up. Io Sky would not be chuffed with that.
How much money would the insurers have to pay for that one? What? They doing what?
Get Logan Paul in there. Maybe not.
I think there's a chance of Bad Bunny Logan Paul at Mania, but I'm getting off topic here.
You know what? That would actually kind of suck. Who the hell's going to hold that together? Because, like, they're good, but they're celebrity good,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who's
special
calling
guest
this
referee. John Cena. I don't know.
One of them's had 7 matches, the other one's had 2.
Yeah.
Who's holding it together? Anyway, never mind.
Experienced pro Logan calling the match.
Like grizzled veteran.
Anyway, sorry, Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, why is her return not happening? We spoke about this, was it yesterday? The day before?
Yeah, I think it was yesterday.
Where she was going to return on the 13th. WWE creative were then told, don't come up with any creative for Alexa indefinitely. There was talk of it being an angle with the Wyatt Six, but then that was cancelled. Now the Wyatt Six are on SmackDown, and they were having nothing to do with Alexa. PW Insider Elite So Matt and Nicholas Jackson.
Yes. Their wrestling reporting service.
Yeah, they have the scoops here.
I wonder they've not been on telly for a while. Busy.
Explains it all, doing scoops. But yeah, it's a contract issue.
Okay.
Apparently, Bliss and her team wanted an improved contract from WWE upon her return, but WWE wanted her to come back on the terms of her previous agreement or her current agreement, which has been extended because she's been off TV.
Yes.
Her representatives contacted WWE about a new contract ahead of the 13th of January. WWE stated, nope, current terms. Alexa Bliss's side were like, okay, we're just going to play hardball.
Yeah.
This is what we want. Boom, boom, boom. Respect it. As a result, WWE froze everything. And Wyatt's on Fridays now, but they've not made an appearance yet. Maybe this week, who knows. All that stuff. I've lost my train of thought completely. It's gone straight out of my head. But yeah, now the two sides have apparently been at odds since this contract disagreement. Alexa has deleted references to WWE in her social media profiles, which always gets people talking. This was done actually on the 14th of January, the day after her return was scrapped. So it sounds like they're at stalemate contract-wise. And who knows what the terms of these deals are, but if she's still off TV, presumably they could extend it even more, which doesn't work in her favor. As always, these situations, largely weighed against the independent contractor. My take on this is real simple. I don't know what Alexa's paid. I don't know what she's asking for. I don't know what they're offering.
No.
I think Alexa Bliss is a very good TV character, and I think that the very rich wrestling promotion should just pay her to be a very good TV character.
Yeah, I'd just give her what she deserves, absolutely. Like, you ain't struggling for cash right now. I think things have changed a lot since we saw Alexa Bliss last on telly. Not just for WWE, for her. She's had a kid, she's had that horrible health scare. But yeah, she's a big star and she deserves big money. So yeah, just pay her at the end of the day for me. But yeah. I get it. Well, legally, we still own her for the next. I don't care.
They're sharks, TKO, and a lot of people like to look at Uncle Paul and Papa H and Uncle Nick as these like nice fluffy bunnies because they produce like Raw and SmackDown, and people are really satisfied by Raw and SmackDown. But they're just the business.
Yeah.
Nick Khan's an absolute animal, man. Like, they're gonna try and hold off on it for as long as possible, and yeah, they will. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't.
I do hope it gets resolved by next Saturday.
Yeah,
because I like Alexa Bliss returning to the Rumble, and I think this might be a blessing in disguise. Because personally, you and I both think that Alexa's better off doing her own solo stuff rather than the Wyatt Six. As much as she's got a relationship there, and she really enjoyed doing stuff with Bray back in the day. But we'll wait and see. Keep our eyes on that one.
One to keep a monitor of.
Speaking of monitoring things, it's been just over a week now since WWE and TNA announced that partnership of theirs, and people are popping up on Genesis, and all the speculation about TNA stars popping up in the Rumble.
People have treated my opinions on this relationship very positively.
Yes. Well, Wrestling Observer Radio produced. Dave has said some really interesting things about that, about the deal and what it could mean going forward, and perhaps a little more reason as to why, other than. Wouldn't mind having that one in the Rumble. One. Yeah. Why WWE maybe have had this partnership sorted with TNA? Because they already had a sort of bit of an open door policy. Well, now Dave has busted this one wide open, saying there's a lot of stuff that's going to be part of this deal, but the key stuff is they want to get TNA on the television outlets that WWE is leaving. I'm sure India being the big one. So AEW doesn't get those television outlets that they are leaving. All of their shows are on Netflix internationally, so they can't put anything on those stations. So they want to make sure it's not AEW on there. That's one of the many reasons they're doing this TNA partnership. I know people who are close to the situation who think it will end up with WWE owning TNA. Others think it's going to be a disaster because it always is at the end. Every company WWE works with always ends up worse off.
It's just how it is. It's the wrestling business. Go and read history. With this, right, I'll play nice with this time. Right, so ultimately WWE cannot just buy TNA right now.
No.
The TKO and UFC, there's a big antitrust lawsuit. It's not resolving anytime soon. They can't just do that. I think that a big part of this deal was probably a bit of PR with regards to that. It's like, hey, look, we're working with them.
Hey, we can be friends.
And also, right, if we're being serious about this, the deal's kind of existed for about a year, right? So they've kind of been using people already. This is just like a formalization of those terms and all of that stuff. So my thing is, like, if someone gets signed on, if this creates jobs, cool.
Yeah.
Great for the talent involved. and I'll absolutely watch those crossover matches at the end of the day. Dave's sometimes a bit loose these days. So I personally, I don't think that WWE is buying TNA anytime soon.
It'd be really bad for the business, but it also, I think, would be bad for their business.
Yeah, for sure. And look, TNA, a few business things have popped quite well for them recently. The crowds are good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed seeing the panoramic shots of the arena for Genesis. So their crowds are improving. I'm not sure about their ratings. I just don't follow them that well.
No.
The difference between TNA and an AEW is that AEW is paid for their TV deal and TNA's is from the network. So if TNA is able to score a paid TV deal,
yeah, absolutely,
because their current network is owned by Anthem
themselves, yes.
Yeah. So it's just put it on there, no problem. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you own it, put them on it, absolutely. But they're in a position to have they're already on a bit of a business resurgence, but that can continue if they land another TV deal. You'd imagine that WWE would be like, hey, let's help you out with that, because this other competition, we don't want those. So it's a cutthroat world, man.
Well, yeah, very much a flashback to the not good old days, the old days where anything that possibly tried to rise up against WWE was just crushed. And I'm not saying they're doing that to TNA, but the war's kind of over with AEW. Yes, talent will jump back and forth because they've both got boatloads of money, but no one sat there going, ooh, will Dynamite beat Raw in the ratings?
Yeah.
And ratings sort of don't really mean as much as they used to now, because WWE's got that huge Netflix deal, and you can't really judge Dynamite's ratings as much anymore because they're also on Max.
Yeah, this is it. And WWE's Raw numbers that come out are 7 days as well.
Of course, yeah.
And they're global. So it's become increasingly hard to compare these things.
Still sticking the boot in though, apparently.
Yeah, oh yeah.
No, you can't be in India.
Yeah, get lost, AEW.
I mean, it's a huge market probably. I don't know anything about this. But.
Yeah, this is it. It is I remember the cool thing about the Indian market was always when Kavita Devi, for example, was featured in the Mae Young Classic. It was the YouTube video did 90 million views in a month or something crazy.
Put that title on Jinder Mahal for a reason.
Yeah, there's a hunger there.
They were terrible with it. Why have you made him be a heel if you want to get over the Indian audience? But okay.
But yeah, I agree with you. The war is over. It's not a war anymore. Now it would be really cool from a fan's perspective to just see companies addressing their own identity and go, boom, yes, which to an extent is kind of happening. But yeah, business.
Still just hoping for the best with this WWE TNA partnership. Still, positivity.
I would love it to be oh, cool, TNA's resurging, WWE's doing this, and AEW's doing this, and oh, what the hell? There's another billionaire, and he's not Vince, and he started a new company. That'd be sick.
Yeah,
imagine that. A 15th billionaire shows up and starts the company with.
We created our own companies. It was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it was sensational. You should watch that video. It's good.
Over Christmas, it was a lot of fun. We did that.
But what you should watch first is predicting all 30 members of the Women's Royal Rumble.
Oh, I'm in this.
They've only announced 2 so far, so there's 28 fresh ones right here.
And trust me, one of them you will not believe.
It's going to blow your wig off.
Bye.